It's amazing what a bit of spring can do. A simple little thing like spring.
And that was a segment from the
when
song
there's no
What a Bit of Spring from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the stage play. I'm sitting here today with Danielle Lee, who plays the role of Mrs. Beaver in the show. Danielle, what do you like most about theater?
I think that theater is just really cool because it's a way to explore like different emotions and characters, and you're given it, but it's kind of a way to put yourself in different circumstances that you couldn't really act out in real life. If everyone would give you like a weird look, if you just like suddenly started like bursting out crying in public, but like in theater, there's just so much room for freedom to explore and play with all these different characters in different circumstances.
Do you feel like doing theater allows you to explore a different side of yourself that you wouldn't otherwise be able to explore?
Definitely, because like in theater, of course, there is typecasting. Like people do end up playing the same types of characters a lot of times, but even so, every show it's a different environment. Like the environment in say like Les Miserables is way different than the environment that was more fun I had to do in like Mary Poppins, and all these different characters just allow me to explore all these different ways of like saying things, dancing things, acting things out.
Do you have a particular favorite role that you've played up until this point?
I think other than Mrs. Beaver, I played Mrs. Peterson in Bye Bye Birdie, which wasn't a singing role, but it was a really big speaking role, and it was super duper comedic. It was so funny. I got to be like evil, but also it was less of evil and more just like this really jerk of an old woman. It was hilarious.
It was a really good show, and to anyone
It
who's
was
here,
awesome.
you can't see it anymore, but trust me, it was good.
Bye Birdie was amazing.
Oh, looks like we're around the halfway point. Guess we better take an intermission, as they say in the theater world. And we are back. I hope you grabbed some popcorn from the concession stand because we are starting part 2 of this podcast.
Back.
Danielle, I just want to know, so we've been talking about shows that you've done up until now and the show that you're doing right now. What's a dream show that you'd like to do?
My dream show, and I've talked about this a lot, it has to be Newsies. It's just so high energy. The songs are just all so fun, and I do struggle as a dancer, but I would learn all the complicated dances for Newsies if it meant being a newsie, but my dream role is definitely Catherine, who leads the Newsies and is a newspaper editor, and she's just such an inspiring character and role.
Okay, you know what? I too would really love to see you do a Newsies production. But back to the present for right now. Do you mind sharing a few thoughts about your current show, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Yeah, so I did not know what to expect out of this show. I went into auditions just really hoping for a good callback, and I was hoping for Mrs. Beaver because I'm an alto, and she was a role that really fit in my vocal range.
Not all the roles for altos.
It's tough being alto in the theater world. And then, but I got called back for it, and I was super excited, and that callback was just amazing. I was just actually smiling like the whole way through. Read the role, and which not everyone got to do, and I got the cast list back, and I got the role as well, not a main role, but a main support, and then working with everyone. A lot of my friends this time were in the opposite cast, so that kind of sucks, but it's still great to connect with everyone, all the kids, all the people closer to my age, and it's really funny this time because I'm the oldest person in my cast, and it doesn't feel that way, but oh my goodness, it's just such a magical show.
In the most spoiler-free way possible, could you give like a favorite moment, just briefly?
Oh my goodness. It's probably got to be Bit of Spring because that's like a giant solo, and we just get to dance around with the kids, and it's just such a high beat, like fun number before all like the really serious stuff comes in.
Very
with
true.
like Aslan fighting the White Witch, and it's just like the last moment of like pure happiness before like everything gets resolved.
And for the show, could you give our audience a date and a place where they might be able to find it?
Ooh, this sounds really horrible, but I don't have exact dates, but all our shows are in December, and you can see it either at East Valley High or at the Mesa Arts Center, and you can find those details at Places Productions website.
And that was our interview with Places Productions' Danielle Lee. Danielle, thank you for coming here.
Thank you for interviewing me.